Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to explain how you can factorize a quadratic where the number or the coefficient in front of the x squared term is not equal to 1. In a previous video, I have explained how you can factorize a quadratic like this by seeing what multiplies to give this value and adds to give this value. As we can see here, not all quadratics have a 1 in front of the x squared, so we need to factorize this in a different way. So I'm going to show you a method that uses a few more steps, but I think is very quick and very easy to understand. So our first step is going to be a multiplied by c. Now, what is a and what is c? In a quadratic, we usually have three terms. We have our a, our b, and our c term. The a term is the number in front of the x squared, the b is the number in front of the x term, and the c is a constant. So a in this case is 2, and c in this case is 6. So we're going to do 2 times by 6, which is equal to 12. That's step 1. Step 2, we need to see what numbers multiply to give 12, but add to give 7. So we can see what multiplies to give 12. We have 1 and 12, 2, 6, 3, and 4. Now, as we can see here, this pair, 3 times 4 is 12, but 3 plus 4 is also equal to 7. So these are the two numbers we need to use. So now that we've established this, we go on to step number 3. This is where it gets a bit more interesting. There is a method where you draw a square as such, and we divide it in 4 equal parts. Okay. Now, this is the only difficult part, is to remember where each number goes. In the bottom right corner, we are going to write out the constant from our original quadratic. So in this case is 6. In the top left corner, we're going to write out our 2x squared. So these two numbers right here will always be from our original quadratic. And these numbers will have the 3 and the 4. But the only thing we need to add is multiply them by an x. So it's going to be 3x and a 4x. Okay? So in this square, it doesn't matter which square. You can put the 3x here or the 3x here. So I'm going to put the 3x here and the 4x right here. This is step 3. Now, step 4, you need to see in this column here what numbers go into 2x squared and 4x. And that would be 2x, right? Because 2x goes into 2x squared and 2x also goes into 4x. Okay? Now, 2x times by what number? So these numbers up top and beside are going to be multiplied together. Okay? So 2x times by what number will give us 2x squared? Well, that has to be x, okay? So 2x times by x is 2x squared. But if we keep going along the path here, what will multiply by x to give us 3x? And that will have to be 3, okay? Because 3 times by x is 3x. Now we go further down here. 2x times by what number from here will give us 4x? Well, that has to be 2. And the last column, well, that's already done for us now. 3 times by 2 is equal to 6. So that is how you know that you've done this process correctly. If all of the numbers from left to right and top to bottom multiply to give the correct numbers in every box. Now this is very complicated in the very beginning, but once you get the hang of it and once you practice this process, it can be very helpful. Now, step 5, this is the last step. We're going to group these numbers and these numbers. So these two numbers will be our bracket, x plus 2 and 2x plus 3. Now, there is no plus here, obviously, but since these are not negative numbers, they have to be positive. And those are our two brackets. And to prove that we've done this process correctly, we're going to expand these two brackets. So we have x plus 2 and 2x plus 3. So we multiply these terms together, 2x squared, these two plus 3x, these two plus 4x, and these two plus 6. And that gives us 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. And that matches our original quadratic. Let's take a look at another example. Here we have 2x squared plus x minus 6. So let me write again the a, the b, and the c term. Okay? Now remember, when we have an x by itself, that's just an invisible 1 in front of it, because 1 times by anything is itself. This will make more sense later. So, step 1, we do a times by c. So that's 2 times by minus 6. So that will give us minus 12. Now, step 2, what multiplies to give minus 12 but adds to give 1? So we've got 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, and 4. Now, here we have the 3 and the 4 again, but if we choose positive 3 and positive 4, that will give us 7. What we want is 1. So I see here that 4 minus 3 will give us 1. And we know that one of the numbers has to be negative because our number here, negative 12, is negative. So our factors must be negative 3 and 4. Okay? Now, step 3, the box. Okay. We've got this number, the x squared term, goes top left, and the constant goes on the very bottom. So we got minus 6. And then our factors here are minus 3x and 4x. Okay. Now let's go down first. What goes into 2x squared and 4x? Well, that's 2x again. Now let's go to the left. So 2x times by something is 2x squared. That will give us x. Now x times by something will give us minus 3x. So we need to make sure that this is minus 3. So minus 3 times by x is minus 3x. And the last and final step, minus 3 times by something is equal to minus 6. So that has to be 2. And just to make sure that we've done this right, 2x times by 2 is equal to 4x. So as you can see, the numbers from the top and from the side are being multiplied to give these numbers in the box. Okay, and that's what factorizing really is. We're taking factors that go into each of the numbers. Okay, now step 4, we are going to group these numbers up here and down below. So as you can see, we have a negative number here. So that will give us 2x minus 3 and x plus 2. Okay, this stays positive as there's no negative here. And just to make sure that we've done this correctly, we're going to expand the brackets. So 2x minus 3 and x plus 2. We're going to multiply this, 2x squared plus 4x minus 3x and minus 6. And now we add the x's together. That gives us plus x minus 6, or 1x, let's say. And that does match our original quadratic. Now here we've got 3x squared minus 12x minus 15. So as you can see, we have larger numbers this time, but the process is the same. So step 1, a multiplied by c. So 3 times by minus 15, and that's equal to minus 45. Okay? Step 2, what multiplies to give 45 but adds to give 12? So let's write the factors of 45. 1, 45, 3, 15, 5, and 9. And in fact, we don't need to go any further because we see that 3 and 15 can give us minus 12. Because if we have minus 15 plus 3, that's equal to minus 12. So our factors are minus 15x and 3x. Okay, now step 3, the box. So the same, so 3x squared, the first number in the top left corner, and a constant in the bottom right corner. And our factors can go here, minus 15x and 3x. So 3x squared and 3x, what do they have in common? Well, 3x. 3x times by what number on the left gives us 3x squared? Well, that gives us x. 3x times by x, 3x squared. That's correct. Now, what number times by x gives us minus 15x? So that has to be minus 15. These two numbers give us this number. That's correct. And 3x squared times by what number? No, sorry, 3x times by what number is 3x? Well, if we are multiplying and getting the same result, we must be multiplying by 1. So this will be 1 right here. And 1 times by minus 15 is minus 15. And our last step, step 4, is we group these numbers and these numbers. So that gives us 3x minus 15 and x plus 1. Okay? And we will expand this to prove that we've done this correctly. So 3x times by x, 3x squared, 3x times by 1 plus 3x, minus 15 times by x is minus 15x, and minus 15 times by 1 is minus 15. And we collect like terms, minus 12x, minus 15. And that matches our original quadratic. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.